What is up, everyone? This is Joe the Hoyos. I am the host of Beyond the Woodline. Real quick, we're gonna make special announcements. You guys have any encountering cryptids, UFO, aliens, paranormal, or any other strange phenomenon? Man, let me know. Hit me up. I'd love to hear about it. If you want to come on the show and talk about it, I'd love that even more. But you just want talk to someone and let them know you're not crazy because there's a lot of people out there and a lot of us are not crazy. I'm going to tell you that right now. But speaking of crazy, I have with me tonight a special co-host. Some of you guys may know him. Mendoza. How you doing, dog?
I'm good. I'm good. Enjoying the storm that we had this morning.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like we went from like no rain to more rain than we can handle, man. It's like I think we got like 7 or 8 more days left of rain.
Oh, there's my cousin. What's up, cuz? Yeah, that rain was crazy. I thought I was gonna have to drive the Yeti around. I thought it was gonna flood.
I have to build an ark, man. Like I said, for you guys who don't know, man, that's Big Dog, and he has his own podcast called the Big Dog Random Show. And Big Dog, if you want to talk about that real quick, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, basically, I just shoot the poop with people, and sometimes people just want to tell their story and just get it out there. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there in the world, and it's nice to just let people get it off their chest because some people are just looking for a platform to get it out there, and I kind of try to give them that, and that's kind of what Joe does here, just get the word out. But I do sort of an audio format like we were talking about earlier because I got a face for radio.
You all right, man. And if you guys have any, you guys want to contact Big Dog, man, there's an email down at the bottom scrolling along, and I'll be sure to put on from time to time. And like I said, he's definitely a good dude to talk to. I highly recommend it.
Appreciate that.
And without further ado, man, tonight we have a very special guest, Javier from Cryptid 559. How you doing, Javier?
Good. Hello, everybody. Thank you again for the invite. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Just talk about some.
Our favorite subjects, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The spookies.
So what got you involved in all? What got you involved in all this stuff, man?
Since I was a kid, I was intrigued by the crazy, the strange, the scary stuff. I was always drawn to it for some reason. And even though I was a chicken when I was a kid, I was scared of all this stuff. Now, not no more, not really. But when I was a kid, it was crazy. I was scared about all that, but I got drawn to it for some reason. So that's how I started dwelling into all this stuff.
I like how you said, not really.
Not no more, not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, man. Did you ever have an encounter with any kind of dogman or Bigfoot or even UFOs, paranormal stuff?
In the late 80s, me and my family did have a UFO encounter out here in the outskirts of. We're about 30 minutes east of Fresno, California, close to the foothills, and it was around dusk when we were going home out in the country, and we noticed these two triangles, huge triangles, coming, heading towards the hills, and we actually parked. My dad parked off the side of the road there, and we all got off. It was me, my little brother, my mom, and my dad. No other cars were around. Again, this is in the country, and it was already dark. So these two triangles, huge triangles, just hovered right over us, really slow. And I remember there was no noise, no sound at all. There was 3 lights on each craft. At each point of the triangle, there were white lights, and in the center was a big red light. And I remember just them going right over us real slow and then heading towards the foothills, heading east.
Wow. That
Yeah.
sounds like what is that ship called? The TBR-8 or something,
The the TR3B. Uh huh.
or something like that. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to remember the name.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
that
I've seen
triangle.
pictures of the TR.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
I've seen pictures of that TR3B. Say the ones that we saw were very big. I mean, they were big, and there was two of them together. I'm not saying that the TR3B is not big, but it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same.
Oh, the ones you saw were bigger.
Yeah, they were pretty big, and they were heading towards the mountains. And I know there might be a military base out here. We're still trying to figure out if there's a military base out in the hills. But I know on the other side of the foothills, the Area 51's on the other side of those foothills. So I don't know if it was going over there. I have no idea.
And it
Yeah.
was just cruising dead silent, huh?
Yeah, two of them, silent, no noise, no engine sound, and then there was just very slow hovering. And it wasn't way up in the sky. It was like close to us. It was pretty
It was
pretty low.
pretty low. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's what
And
I
then
tell
what
everybody.
happened after that? Oh,
I was just gonna say that's what I tell everybody about my sighting. Like the one that I saw, it wasn't like yours. It was a brown disc one, and it was just going way too slow for any regular aircraft to maintain that airspeed they have to maintain to stay in the air. It was just going really really slow.
Yeah, like it would
yeah.
fall out,
Right.
Hmm.
fall
Yeah,
fall to the
exactly.
ground.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you would think when we're watching these crafts. It was going really slow. It's like no way. This I don't know. I mean, it could have been the government, secret government plane, but I don't know. I just know it didn't have any sound, and they were going really slow. And then what happened after that? We all got back in the car. Never said a word about it. We didn't talk about it. I just remember getting back in the car, and that was it. And then when we started our channel back in 2017, I told my mom, "Hey, I'm gonna do a video on the. I'm gonna go out to the location where we saw the UFOs at one time." And I was telling my mom, and then she ends up telling me that. Did I ever tell you guys about after we saw those craft for after we saw those craft three consecutive nights later, I was having the same dream. I thought it felt like a dream, but I don't know. But I kept waking up at night. I was hovering above the bed, and I could see your dad asleep. I couldn't move, and I had this red light on me. And she goes, "That happened for 3 nights after we saw those crafts." And I go, "Mom, you never told us that. I don't remember you telling us that." And and yeah, and then after we saw those crafts, we like I said, we just got him back in the car, never said a word. And then I think we had like a family barbecue something, and somebody brought up UFO, a topic of UFO, and that's what triggered all of us, my dad, my mom, and we all started talking about it.
Hmm.
It was crazy.
That is. It's like the what is that? The MIBs or something. Put that where you saw it, but you didn't want to like talk about it for a while, and then when your
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah.
family member
Uh huh.
brought it back up, it just all flooded back in, opened the floodgates.
Yeah. Let's see. So
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
this.
Exactly.
This is what my daughter saw. She actually drew a picture of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She done
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. Uh huh. And there
And
was two of them. Yeah, they were huge, and there was two of them together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and she saw this one going actually towards Raymondville. She was driving. Well, she wasn't driving. She was in the back seat when she saw that.
How long
That's
ago?
Oh, okay.
she saw that. See, she's 25, so she probably saw it about. She's maybe 15. She saw it probably about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so like she was, they were going to
Nice.
Raymondville, and she called me when she got to the hotel. I said, "Draw a picture of it right now." I said, "Right now, draw a picture of it." Yeah. So that's what she did.
Oh,
So
that's
I think it's always fascinating when people
nice.
just tell me the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you think your mom was being abducted?
That's what she thinks. She wants to do a hypnosis. So I go, Mom, I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know what, I don't know if you want to find out if you got
Right.
abducted and what they did to you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
scary
don't know
thing.
if you want to remember that.
Yeah, scary. It's kind of scary to go through that, from what I understand. But it'd be nice to at least know.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I was 10 years old. My brother was 5, and I don't remember any like missing time or anything. I can't remember if we had any missing time at all. Yeah.
Did she say anything about missing time?
No, I asked her, and she don't remember. She just remembers that red light and waking up 3 nights in a row,
Huh.
having the same experience for 3 nights in a row. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I would love to hear her story. I would love, if she ever got, that regression. It'd be nice to hear.
Yeah, but did she have anything happen after all that, or it just was those 3 nights and then that was it?
No, those 3 nights and that was it. She's never had anything else similar. We've lived in the haunted house. We experienced other crazy stuff, but
I think all Mexicans live in haunted houses. I mean, because my house is haunted. The one I live in now, I know Joe has stuff going on at his house. I think that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. You're right.
Must be.
Yeah. It's a brown thing.
Yeah. They like Mexican food, I guess. I don't know. So what was that going on in your house that you live in? Is it the same house you live in now, or is it a different house?
No, it's a different house. We left that place. Me and my wife got married in 2000. We moved into a rental house close to town, and right off the bat, we were experiencing cold spots all over the house, knocking every night on the walls in our bedroom. Every night. I mean, I'm serious. Like every night when we're gonna go to sleep, just start knocking on the walls. And on the other side of that wall was a hallway. So there was nobody. It was just me and my wife. And it's like, man. And people were telling me it was critters, rodents. Like, no, it's not. It's not. I grew up in the country. It's not rodents. We did have bats underneath, and I think it had a cellar down there in that house, but we never went down there. But you can hear like bats, and you can hear they make a certain sound, so that's a bat. But and I even put my ear on the wall to hear like if it was a mouse or a rat, and then you didn't hear nothing. You just kept hearing the knocking. It was like a knock, and it would go down the wall, and then it'd come back, and then it would stop for a little bit, and it'd do it again, and it'll do it all night. It's like, dude, that was one, and then bulbs were always burning. All the light bulbs, in the house kept burning out. They kept popping. It's like, come on, man. It's like I kept replacing light bulbs in that house all the time. Doors would be open. They open by themselves. The alarm that we had at the house would go off on its own late at night. It's like, dude, you jump out of bed, just think somebody's trying to break in. There's nobody. There's nobody around. Everything's closed.
Man, I bet the electricity bill sucked over there.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't back then in the 2000s. I didn't know much about the ghost stuff as I do now. I know that light bulbs is something that they associated with spirit. Draw energy from the light bulbs. I know that now. And then the cold spots, that whole house, it was always cold. You can actually see your breath when you're breathing. You can see that's how cold it was inside the house. And we had the heater on. It's like, dude, it would never get warm in there. And then one night, my wife was. We had an office room, and in this office room, they had 3 picture windows, and they had blinds, so they were all separated. Okay, these windows, they weren't attached together, so it's 3 separate windows and 3 separate blinds. So she's in there doing her report. It was around 10 o'clock at night, and and I was in the living room, and all of a sudden I hear her scream. I heard a loud bang, and then I hear her scream. It's like, Javier. So then I go, what's going on? What happened? So I ran over there where she was at. When I get there, I noticed all the blinds were on the floor. And I told her what happened. And she goes that she was just typing her report. And she said from behind her, it started from behind her. The blinds, the ones behind her fell first, and then there was the other one, and then there was the one in front of her. Like a domino effect.
Oh man.
It's like what? and we just stuck them back in, and they never fell again. It's like, what the heck? And and then there was some other stuff we experienced, and we had enough of it. I had to be at work early in the morning, and I hardly got sleep because of knocking. And I got to the point where I was knocking back. It's like, what do you want, man? Stop already. I was getting mad. So I need to go to sleep. It's like, dude. So we ended up leaving.
You didn't charge rent?
Right?
Usually when I start talking about rent, it settles down around here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Sometimes, like in my room, in the mornings or sometimes at night, you can feel someone sit on the bed.
Oh,
yeah, that's when I'm like, oh hell no! I jump up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Tell him to hook up with my cousin Dave Cruz from Beyond the Strange. He lives in Cali.
Oh, okay.
Beyond the Strange, dude.
Yeah, I haven't heard from that dude in a while.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, where I felt someone sit on the bed. We weren't even in a house, not even a week, and I could feel somebody sit on the bed. And I thought it was my dog trying to get on the bed because he knew he wasn't supposed to be on the bed. And, I looked up and there was nobody there. And that was weird.
Well, see, when my wife moved in, she would tell me that when I got up in the morning and went in the bathroom or whatever, and then she would be like, she would feel like somebody was sitting on the bed, and she was like, I thought you were getting ready, and she looked and nobody's there. And then she told me about it a couple of times. I'm like, that hadn't happened since I was real young. And then when she started telling me about it, then like I'd be half asleep and then, what the?
Huh.
And she won't be in the room, and then sometimes we hear like footsteps coming up the stairs. And one morning we were waking up, and how couples are, newlyweds. Oh, you're so beautiful in the morning, and hugging and stuff. And also we start hearing boom, 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 and I was like, oh. And I tried to jump up and go see. Well, being a big man, it take you a little while, but I still jumped up, went to go see if I could see anybody on the stairs, and there was nobody there. I thought it was the boy trying to get breakfast, but in the summer, kids don't wake up early.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I got creeped out and left to work. You deal with this yourself. I'm out. Tell me how it goes.
Yeah, that is interesting, man. So it picked up since she's moved in?
It seems to have, yeah.
Well, maybe because now there's two sets, or there's an extra set of eyes now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't. It's weird because you could sit in the bathroom and you could hear like a weird knocking sound. You can't hear it nowhere else in the house unless you're sitting there, handling business. But I used to, back when I was by myself, I'd leave the door open and I could always hear this weird knocking. Maybe it was the ghost going, "Damn, player."
Yeah.
Lay out that Taco Bell, bro.
Maybe it was that porcelain cracking.
Right?
The house was giving up. The house like, I ain't doing it no more.
Oh my goodness.
It was the house itself getting angry at you. It wasn't no spirit.
But like last night, I had a camera in the kitchen for a while, just testing it out. We took it out, and then last night we started hearing some weird stuff going on. I was like, oh man, I hope it ain't rats or something. And like my dog didn't want to go downstairs. It's like, uh-oh. Of course, me and my boy come down like SWAT team with our flashlights, and you know,
Had
trying
to
to
go
take
first, right?
yeah, go first, son. You know, I already lived a long life, but I still want to keep going. Nah. But yeah, it gets
So,
creepy. I know what you mean by getting frustrated. I ain't trying to take away the show, but I
go
can
ahead,
totally
talk about
relate.
it.
I can totally relate to what you're talking about because there was I used to sleep in another room, and then I started bigfooting with Bob and all them, and they would sometimes Bob would say, "Hey, he sees like a shadow person out there," and I was, I wasn't into that. I was just like, "Shadow person? You mean a black dude?" And he was like, "Nah, it was like a dark entity," and I was like, "Well, whatever." And then I would be sleeping. There would be something stomping, like it had army boots on or some kind of boots right at the foot of the bed. Boom, 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 boom. And the first couple of times it happened, it would scare the crap out of me. I'd be like, "Oh man, what is that? Oh, gee, oh Lord, please help me." Then after a while, I was like, "Yo, cut that shit out."
Yeah,
Grumpy Mexican in the morning. I didn't care no more. I finally stopped, but and we started
yeah,
doing prayers and everything and got it to stop. But yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean by haunted house. Come on,
yeah.
Joe, throw some in.
Scratch my ear, man. So where you're at now, Javier, I guess everything's good there. Nothing followed you.
Everything's good here. Yeah, we're good here at this place.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So what got you involved in the cryptid world, whether it be Bigfoot, Dogman, or any other cryptid?
Well, what happened? You know, I wanted to do the paranormal investigations and all that, the ghosts and stuff. And after experiencing all that stuff, I go, nah, I know this stuff is real. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want no dark energies around me or anything like that. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna mess with this. I want to focus on Bigfoot, UFOs. I mean, I
Right.
know people say that some people say the UFOs, aliens are demons. I don't know, but you know, I just started going into the UFO, and then back in 2017, there was a video that went viral that was from right here close to where we live. It was a family of Bigfoot that was seen on this ranch by this farmer, and they made a video about it, and it was on the local news, and then from there it went viral. It went all over the nation, and that's when I first heard about Bigfoot being down here on the valley floor. I always thought they were up in the hills and the mountains up there, and this farmer was saying that he had them in this ranch, and it's just like 15 minutes away from where we live, and he has a citrus orchard, and near there's a lake called Avocado Lake, and so that's when we started. We started going out. A group of us friends. We started going out there at night around 9 o'clock, and just parking out there and sky watching and just listening. And see if we can see the Sasquatch. There was a Sasquatch out there, so we wanted to see Sasquatch. But after that video went viral, that Avocado Lake ended up closing. They closed it. They closed it down, and it had never been maybe one. Usually they didn't close it at night. It was open all day long. But after that video, I guess everybody started going out there, and I guess they shut it down. They closed it down. And from what I heard, that they had told them that it was they were going to do some cleaning. They were going to take out some dead trees out there. But I think it was due to that video. But so yeah, that's how I started the channel, and me, it was a group of friends, but then it just it was just me, my cousin, and Jesus. Three of us now that are pretty active doing it. Um, and that's when we started the channel in 2017. And shortly after that, that's when I had my Dogman encounter just north of Avocado Lake in that same area. You know,
Hmm. Tell us about that
and
one.
and I sent you some pictures on that area there. I don't know if you
Yeah,
want
Lippy wants to know if you hang out with Jeffrey Gonzalez. I don't know. Jeffrey
to.
Gonzalez.
I know Jeffrey. I do know him. We have gone out a couple of times. Yes, I do know. I've gone out with Alan Thomas, which was his co-host on his show. I'd go out with him, and I've gone out with Adolf. If they know Jeffrey, they know all these other gentlemen. Yeah, I do go out with them every once in a while.
Let's see. I got a picture here I want to pull up. I want to ask you about this one. I'll show you this one first, and then I'll show you the. I don't know how well you can see that, big dog.
Okay,
so make it big.
Yeah, I'll show you the picture where he actually circles, I guess, the impressions, and then I'll come back to this one. But that was one of the ones that actually kind of caught my attention. What wrong thing is that now?
I like your hat. Now I can see it real good because I got not your hat. I'm talking about Javier's hat.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now I got it on the big screen. I can see everybody.
Oh, there you
go. Here we go. So now he's got him circled. Yeah, I can see him better on my computer. I'll go back to it.
Three toes.
Yeah, it was either 3 toes or 4, but yeah, and the claws are right under that weed there.
And I'll go back.
But my foot.
Yeah.
Yikes!
So what happened? That you want me to go? Yeah. So what happened that evening? We had just gotten some night vision goggles. Not very good. They weren't very good ones. It was just some toy ones. It's the Nerf brand. We had just gotten that one, which actually works pretty good. And then we had another toy.
If you update the IR, they work pretty good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And we had another toy one. I don't remember the brand of that one. And we were just testing them out because we had never had any night vision goggles. So we were messing. It was me and my cousin, and we had just gotten there to that location where it's just north of Avocado Lake. There's a bridge, and then the Kings River runs through there, all the way down to the valley floor. So we parked right there on a turnout by the bridge, and so we took out the night vision goggles. It was getting dark, and sure, I had one, and my cousin had one, and he was messing with it. He was looking down the river, down below to the river, and I was looking up at the mountain ridges, just to see. I was just getting a feel for them, and then my cousin tells me, "Hey, there's something down by the river. There's like 2 eyes. It looks like 2 eyes looking at us from down below." So he shows me. I'm looking at it through the night vision goggles, and sure enough, it looks like 2 eyes on the side on the bank of the river there down below us, looking right at us. And I go, well, they do look like eyes. I mean, I don't know. I go, just keep an eye on it, see if it moves or it blinks or it does something. So he was focused on that. And then I was over here messing with the other night vision goggles. Like I said, I was looking at the ridges of the hills. And then I just, for some reason, I brought my goggles down and I turned around behind us. It's the road, and then it's another hill right there. And when I turned around, I see this big creature. When I first saw it, it was doing this. It was doing all this movement with its hands. It was on 2 legs, but I couldn't see the face. I could see all the body and all the hands and the muscle. It was very muscular. It had human hands. Like I said, I couldn't see the face. I could just see all the outline of it. And it was doing this, and then it got down on all 4s, and it ran west of us. Just down. I sent you some pictures there, but I don't know if you want to bring them up. But it ran down very fast. This thing was fast, and I didn't even tell my cousin because I didn't want to break visual. I wanted to remember everything that I was seeing here, and I thought it was a Sasquatch. I thought I was seeing a Sasquatch because it was massive. And it ran on all 4s, and then it stopped, and then it turned to the mountainside, and it lifted up its arms. And like this, and that's when I saw. You could see I saw the hands clearly, and you can see the claws, and I can see all the arms. It was all muscular. I can see the back. It went down all the way to a V shape. I saw the thighs, very muscular thighs, and I saw the calves, muscle. I didn't see the feet. I couldn't see the feet. So what it did when it raised its hand, it grabbed onto the side of the hill, it leaped up, and then it did it again, raised its arms and it grabbed inside of the hill, and it leaped up again, and then it turned its head to the side. It turned its head to the side, and that's when I saw the snout, the fangs, and the pointed ears. And then it crawled like a spider on its belly over the ridge there.
Hell
And
no.
I go, wow, this is not a Sasquatch. This ain't no Sasquatch.
Oh yeah,
This
that
was what the hell did I just see? This thing had a dog head on it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Now,
So
when
what
it-
did you think when you saw it?
You know, I had heard about Dogman, but I haven't heard it. You know, I had heard from like in the Midwest. It's popular about in the Midwest and Wisconsin, all that area, Ohio. Um, but I've never heard any encounters over here. Um, I go, well, I mean, it had a dog, you know, had a head of a dog. It had German Shepherd head, and this thing was about 8 to 10 feet tall, and the chest was about 4 to 5 feet wide. This thing was massive, and it was silent, stealth. It didn't make any noise when it moved. No noise at all. It
wow.
was just great. Yeah,
Do you think it was a physical creature, or do you think it might have been something like a, I don't know, spirit or supernatural, or
yeah, you know, it moved kind of weird, like it was kind of floating, but it was fast. But then we went back the next day, and that's when we found that print.
oh,
We
okay,
found that print right there where we were parked.
so physical.
Yeah,
That's just physical
and
to
it looks
me.
like a canine print.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
print that we saw
So I
earlier
don't know
was
if
from that.
they're. Yes. Yep.
Oh, now was there any more prints?
It was just
Or,
that one print, and remember that where we parked, it's a turnout, so that dirt is really compact.
mm,
It's real compact dirt. It's next to the road, and you can see it made it made a print, so it had weight to it. It had weight to it,
yeah.
and there was only one print, and it was going to the river. It was going to the river.
Oh, that's the direction it was heading.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if it had another one was down by the river, or it was some other animal that maybe it was chasing that was down by the river, and we just got in the way. I don't know. Or it could have been two of them. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It seemed like it was trying to distract you with the arm movements, or either that, or just
Yeah,
throwing hand
exactly.
signs, trying to see
Uh-huh.
what part of Cali you from, or I mean, it was just trying to keep your attention so
Big
you
dog,
wouldn't
you in
Right.
see.
trouble, big dog. Crips and Bloods gonna be looking for us.
Well, I don't know
Uh-huh.
what cryptids are doing. I know they got crypts, but not cryptids. You know what their color is, but I mean, it just seemed like it's kind of like doing a
Yeah,
distraction. Maybe there was young ones around or something like that.
Yeah,
it could have been. Yeah.
that's a good point,
Yeah.
big dog.
I
Yep.
mean, that's what I do.
Mhm.
Look at me.
Yeah. At first when I saw it, I thought it was trying to sneak up on us. But now that I think of it, like you said, it could have been a distraction. Yeah. Yeah.
Had you heard about
It didn't make any sound at all.
dogman encounters in that area before?
Well, now I asked a couple of guys that I met now that do this in this area, and I've told them what I saw, and they goes, "Oh yeah, they've been seeing them since the '70s here." But I go,
Hmm.
what? And I told him what? He goes, "Yeah, I've talked to some police officers. They won't go on file they won't talk to you on camera or anything, but they tell me that they're out there. They exist." Especially in that area that we're at. He says that's a hot spot. That whole area is a hot spot for UFO, anything cryptid, Sasquatch, crazy stuff, ghosts, paranormal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is that like is there like a ley line or something in that
that's what
area?
we're trying to
Or
figure out. We're trying to find a map of our area. I want to know where these ley lines are crossing. Yeah, I'm trying to find a
or,
map. I know
or
there's there's a sacred burial ground, uh, uh, a Native American burial ground about 10 miles up the road there. So from there, so, yeah. Some people tell me it's Skinwalker. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they get that big. People tell me, well, the new generation, they're messing with black magic. It's possible. I don't know.
Have you heard of any reports where Dogman had waved its arms like that? Have you ever found anybody else that said that? Because you're the first person I've
No,
ever heard say that. Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
see,
it
even
was
something
just
like
it
that
just didn't
almost makes me
taste.
think it's spiritual, supernatural, or something. I mean, not I'm not
I
saying it is,
honestly,
but
yeah, yeah, I believe they're interdimensional. I mean, that's just me. I'm not
right.
saying they are. I mean, that's what that's my theory that they're interdimensional. Just from what I've experienced out here.
Highly, highly possible. I mean, you got stuff going on with CERN. Then you got people that do seances and black magic. I mean, who knows what
Yeah,
what they're opening? Because I've always heard that doing Ouija boards and all that stuff was opening a portal. So I mean, it's just all
yeah,
in the words that you're using, interdimensional portals, all that stuff. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And if it was a natural energy, I mean that area, you can feel it. I mean, we feel it when we go out there. We always ask each other when we're out and doing these investigations or researching a certain area. We ask each other when we get there, "Are you feeling anything?" Let me know as soon as you start feeling something. I don't care what, a headache, stomach. Are you feeling sick? Not dizzy, anything. Just tell just let us know. Communicate with each other, because
right.
sometimes we've noticed that one of us starts feeling something, but the other one doesn't, or vice versa, or both of us right off the bat we start feeling that there's something around, like something's not right. You can feel it in the atmosphere, and sure enough, that's when stuff happens.
Yeah, yeah. I've certainly been there where I felt weird, but nobody else did, or somebody else will feel weird, and I won't feel it.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, there's lots of strange things out on the earth. I mean, do you guys carry any sort of like equipment with y'all? Like, sometimes magnetic fields will make people sick. I mean, it affects
an F
everybody
detector.
different. Yeah, sometimes there's some weird
Yeah,
little sounds coming from the earth
right.
that make people feel
Yeah,
weird. It could be something natural,
yeah.
or
Yeah,
or
yeah. If that area is a natural, if it has a natural EMF, like a high energy field, but now there's power lines running through there because there's a dam straight up the road from there. It's called Pine Flat Dam. So you got all these power lines now going through there, and I think they just amplified that energy. If it was a natural energy source there, I think it's just amplified it with all the power lines there, because you can hear those power lines
possible,
going, man.
especially if they're
Yeah,
both in phase of each other
yeah, yeah.
and
Uh
not
huh.
canceling each other
Yeah,
out. Could be something like that
yeah,
going on.
yeah. And I think,
and
yeah,
that and that,
it's a
and that
possibility.
also could be why people are seeing things too.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And if you go on MUFON's website and you look at Avocado Lake, you have this huge cluster of UFO sightings. I mean, a huge cluster on their map. All the reports that have come out of that area.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of areas that are, whether it be ley lines or who knows what else, if you want to call them portals or vortexes or whatever. I think there's actually a lot of places that these entities are at, and for whatever reason, it either attracts them or that's what they're using to jump to and from. Um, I personally think that for the most part, Bigfoot is a flesh and blood creature, but I think that also people see other entities that resemble, Bigfoot. That's why they all get kind of murky sometimes, I guess you could say, and um, I don't know.
Were you
Yeah,
talking
That's
about
just my opinion.
shapeshifters?
Yeah, shapeshifters, paranormal stuff, people that say that Bigfoot jumped through portals or Bigfoot disappeared before their eyes, or I don't think that everything that does that is a Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot, the what I'm looking for is a flesh and blood creature, but I think other entities exist. That's just my opinion. For anybody
yeah,
out there who wants to
yeah.
hate mail to me.
Yeah,
That's one of
make
the
sure.
things I don't like about this field is like you have people that are like stuck on paranormal, that are stuck on interdimensional, that are stuck on flesh and blood. That's why I tell everybody: let's figure out what this thing is first before we start telling everybody what it does and doesn't do.
Right. I mean, some
Yeah,
people try
exactly.
to think they got it all figured out, in the Bigfoot community. Oh, this is what they do. This is, they travel this way, and you don't know, bro.
Yeah, yeah, nobody does.
I don't. I always say, I'm not a professional. Don't. I'm just telling you what we've experienced. We're not professionals, okay? We're not saying we're professionals in this. This is just what we experienced, okay?
Yeah, I'm just a gordito who's interested. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like I tell everyone too. If all I do is sit around a campfire, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's about who you go hang out with.
If I get some activity, fine. If not, I'm hanging out with good people, eating good food.
Mm-hmm.
So Javier, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but what are some of the places that you research? Do you have a place in particular, or like I said, you don't have to be specific about where you go?
Well, like I said, Avocado Lake, because it's already known. Um, we do have other area that's outside of town. It's about 5 minutes outside of town. You brought up the picture a little while ago. It was the ones I don't know that were circled in the trees, which is the one you brought up a little bit ago. This area is just outside of town, like I said, and it's an abandoned place. There's a house there. It's an abandoned property now, and behind the house is all these eucalyptus trees, and behind the house it's a dry creek that runs through there, and all these eucalyptus trees go through there. And I was driving down that road. It's next to a busy road. I was driving down that road a lot because I was taking lunch to my wife at work, so I passed by almost every day, and I noticed some structures in there that I think are cryptid structures, or Sasquatch structures, dogmen. I don't know, but they're structures, and I noticed them, and then they would change, from day to day. And I told Jesus, hey, we need to go to this place. I know there's a house there, but it's abandoned, dude. There's nobody around. The gates open to the back. Uh, we can just walk in there. If somebody comes up, we'll just tell them, we were just looking into investigating this area. We just wanted to see this area, uh, think something. But yeah, so one afternoon, me and Jesus went down there. We parked and we walked in, and right off the bat, you can feel like you can hear movement in the trees. We sensed something was there. Jesus was really like right off the bat. It's like, dude, I'm not feeling it here, man. There's something here. I don't like it. And and we had just gotten there. We haven't even walked in much, and that time he had a picture camera with him, and I had the video camera, so I was recording everything when we went in. And come up to there's a big old bench that was leaning down, and I go, dude, that's a part of a structure. So I hit it that way, and he goes, dude, I don't feel comfortable here. I'm not, I don't like it. And I go, okay, well, just stay back and let me go. Just keep an eye on me in case something doesn't happen to me. Just keep an eye on me, and just keep taking pictures. Just keep taking random pictures. And were you able to bring that one up, Joe?
Yeah, I think I can show it.
Have the 9 and the 1 ready.
Right. He goes, well, he was telling me, well, if something happens to you, I'm leaving. I'll be back later. Well, thanks a
Dang.
lot.
At least you know where you stand.
Right? And so I ended up walking to that branch, and I could tell you that I felt them, I heard them. So if there's that branch right there, that's me down at the bottom, and I can hear them. I've heard something big run away from me, and I was telling Jesus that was behind me. I go, dude, I'm hearing it. Something's running. Start taking pictures, and yeah, you just passed it. You had it right now.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Come on, Joe.
And but I was hearing them. I could smell them. It smelled like a wet, dirty dog. I mean, it's just like dirty, like trash. It smelled bad. It smelled like urine also. And I was looking for homeless people out there. There was no sign of homeless, no trash, no none of that.
Do
But
you
I could
do any
hear them.
hunting?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't do anything. But I can hear them. I can sense there's something was there. Um, I knew that there was something right in front of me. If you look at this picture right here, this is a joke. In front of me, there's something sitting right in front of me, staring right at me.
Are you talking about the
I
yellow?
swear, that's one up in the tree, and then the one in the circled in the black. That's the one that's facing right. It's sitting down, looking right at me. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. Some people say it's a Sasquatch. The one up in the tree, people say it's a dog man or I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
But
The
there's
one in
two
the
of them
yellow
there.
is more compelling than the one in the black. Um, just because of the lighting. But yeah, the one in the yellow is a little bit more compelling than the one in the black. But this is like of all the pictures you sent me, this is the one that really caught my interest because of this right here. You know,
Yep.
I mean, you know how these pictures are. They're always hard to say what the hell's there and what's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But that was definitely
Yeah.
like the one that really caught my eye. And where was that picture taken at? You said at Avocado Lake.
No, this was 5 minutes just outside of town here.
Okay.
Just right outside of town. Yeah. And I don't want to say exactly where.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
Because I've done that in my videos, and what happens next time we go to this location, it's been cleaned out. Like I don't know if our channel's being monitored. I don't know, but for some reason the areas get cleaned out. Like somebody went in and just cleaned the whole area out.
Yeah, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know you've been to Walter's area, Big Dog.
Walter?
Yeah, have you been to his area back there? They're going to start tearing all that down and building homes back there.
Are they?
Yeah, man.
I think they're gonna do that with a lot of the areas out there.
Yeah.
Because
It's kind of strange. It's so far back there, so out of the way, and now you want to go to the neighborhood back there.
yeah, I've gone off trail with my truck, and we ended up in a weird neighborhood out in the middle of nowhere, and there was houses, but there was nobody living in them.
Huh.
But there probably are now, because that was a while back. It was like in 2017, I think.
And do you take reports or from different witnesses too, Javier?
Yeah, but it's hard to get people to talk out here. It's
Really?
really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people what I do, and they just look at me all crazy, like what? So there's not very. Yeah, it's really hard to have people talk out here, especially in that area by Avocado Lake. Nobody wants to say anything out there.
Why do they call it Avocado Lake? Is there a lot of
call
avocados?
It Avocado Lake. I don't know why, but they call it. I think back in the day there used to be a lot of orchards of avocados around there.
Oh.
But now it's all citrus.
Okay.
So in the citrus lake now.
Yeah. There's actually there's a small town there by Avocado Lake. There was a library there. We went to the library and asked the librarian for anything that'll tell us the history of this area, of that area. And she said, well, I've been trying to get information about it too. And they told me they won't send any books on this area over here. I have to go to the main branch in Fresno, and I can't check it out. I have to go and sit there and look for it. Which was, she was like, I don't know why they're telling me to do that. It's just not. It's just different.
Have you looked on?
So there's something up.
Yeah. Have you looked like for older articles in that area, like on Google or anything like that?
I've been lurking. I've only found about the avocado lake that used to they were mining back. It was like a quarry back in the day. And what happened is that they went too deep and they hit an underground river, and that's why it filled in. And
Oh,
that's how the
shit.
lake became. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be bad.
So it was. Yeah. But that's all I've. That's so far. That's all I found. I haven't
Right.
found anything else.
Cool. When are you gonna go back out again into the field?
As soon as it cools down, it's hot out here, man. It's
Hey, do
yeah,
they move
we're itching
around
to
down
get back out there.
at certain times of year? Do they?
Yeah, they follow the yes. They're following the Kings River up from the hills down to the valley floor. So
Okay.
they that's how they're traveling. And then I guess when the citrus oranges are in season, they're down here feeding on oranges, and we have grapes. We got all kinds of stuff,
Oh yeah,
lemons. And so they're eating all that stuff.
a lot of fruits and vegetables growing good out there.
Yeah.
What about like deer and hog? You guys have that down there?
There is a lot of wild hog. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Especially around Avocado Lake, there is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so like in your area, do you find more aggressive encounters or just like curiosity encounters?
I think it's more curiosity encounters. Because actually, honestly, we go out there and we just go at night and we just park and things come to us. We don't go looking for it at night. They just come to us and because they're curious, and it just happens to that they show up. Stuff happens.
Yeah, that's cool. You have any other questions, Big Dog?
In the days we do go out to certain areas, we hear about an area that there was an encounter in this certain area, and then we'll go out and check it out during the day and find evidence of that we think is uh, cryptid evidence. But at night we won't. We'll go there, but we'll just park and we'll just hang out and just listen and skywatch and see what happens.
Y'all do any camping or stay out there for like a long time or?
Um, not camping. We haven't done the camping. We do go early in the morning sometimes, like at 3 in the morning. We went to this other area at 3 in the morning, and we did have activity happen.
What about
It's
document?
it's another.
Do you guys do any documentary where like y'all do any videos or leave recorders out and just stuff like that? Kind of
We've
keep
left.
track of
Okay,
everything.
we have another area called Pictograph Mountain. There's pictographs up on this mountain. I got permission to go up in there and hike this mountain. And there's a lot of rock anomalies. We've done videos in this place. It's on our channel. You can find it. It's called Pictograph Mountain, and there's a bunch of pictographs on the top of this mountain. Like I said, there's a big old Thunderbird pictograph up there. A big
Oh
old image
yeah,
of a Thunderbird.
are those
Yeah,
Native American
and
pictographs or
well, see,
caveman?
I don't know who drew them. I have two friends that are Native Americans that are from here, from this area, and he says that they don't recognize those symbols. It has to
What
be
tribe?
somebody before them, a tribe from before them. Yeah. So I don't know. We haven't been able to find out yet. But I did
Oh
make a
wow,
video of
that's
it.
interesting.
It's on our channel. There's two channels, and you'll see the pictographs in those videos. In this area, we did leave trail cams, but the trail cams acted funny in certain areas. One would shut off as soon as it got dark. It shut off, and it wouldn't start recording until the next morning.
See, that could be that
And
electrical
that happened for
interference
four.
or that stuff I was talking about earlier.
And Don wants to know.
Yeah, and that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would say Don wants to know do creatures look alike or all different down there? Do you find that in your research
They're
or?
they're different. They're not the same. There's a bunch of different stuff going on here.
Cool beans, guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
why don't you
those
tell
trail
everybody where they
camps. Yeah.
No, yeah, yeah. I was gonna tell you we're running up on our hour here.
Oh,
We're
okay.
just gonna
Sorry.
get your information on where. Oh yeah, go ahead, Big Dog. Go ahead.
So what is the weirdest thing you guys heard about out there? I know y'all got all kind of weird stuff out there, and probably something that you don't even know where to categorize it. You got anything like that?
Um, I mean, they're all. uh, the only one that I've actually it was one of my cousins. He uh, he he said he was coming home from work. It was foggy, so it was foggy down here. But he said that he came into this fog cloud, and when he went through this fog cloud in his car, he had this creature on all four legs, on all fours, but it was really skinny, really skinny. It jumped in front of his vehicle, and it went up a tree on the other side of the road, and then he came out of this fog cloud, and he said, "What the hell was that?" So he made a U-turn, went back into this fog cloud, but he didn't see it no more in the tree. It was, he said, it was really skinny. It was on all fours, and it jumped across his vehicle, and then it went up a tree.
Did they
And
say
I
what
don't.
color it was, or
It was
what
like a
the?
grayish skin color.
It would sound like one of those rakes
Yeah,
or a crackhead.
that's yeah, right. Yeah, so that's the first time I've heard about that type of creature. And I don't know if you guys have heard of the Fresno night crawlers.
Night.
The
Oh,
night
is it
crawlers
those
with the big
things that
legs.
they look like
Uh huh.
chopsticks? Yeah, I've
Yep.
heard of
Yep.
those.
That
Those
yeah
are
that
crazy.
yeah that happened up here in Fresno. Huh?
Have you
Yeah,
have
they
you
were
seen them,
captured up here
or
in Fresno.
I don't know.
No,
They
I
just
haven't.
don't look. They don't look scary. I think I would run over and try to tackle it or
No.
whatever. Maybe like Scooby Doo. Pull the mask off and see who the heck is
Right.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like
I don't
somebody
know.
walking on stilts with a big colcha. Just
Oh, and then again, we saw the pterodactyl, and we saw me and Jesus saw it over there by where I had my dogman encounter. We saw the pterodactyl. It had no feathers. Had a
just like
12-foot wingspan.
leathery skin with the long
Yes,
thing
sir.
on the back.
Leathery skin. Yep.
What did
It
it
didn't
have a
have a.
tail?
It didn't have a big. It had a little one. It had a little one, and it had a beak that was about 2 feet long. Yeah.
What did the tail look like? Did
It
it have
didn't. I
one?
didn't see a tail. I think it just went like a V, like a little V. It didn't have
Oh,
a
okay.
big old tail. I didn't see the feet. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't able to see
Mm,
the feet, but we did see it take off. It was in the river, and it's just like really slow once, and then another one, and then it was already in the air. So it's like really slow. We got a good visual on it. So yeah, but
yeah,
there's from the 1800s. There's been stories of pterodactyls in this area.
yeah. I heard of one out here recently. I got talk to the guy again. Every now and then I get reports too, and sometimes people will call me right in the middle of something, and I want to hear their story, and I'll try to shut it down or whatever until I can listen. But a guy recently told me he went uh camping, and he was kind of like hunting, camping, and he was staying out there for a couple of days. He said something picked up his tent while he was in it and dropped it. And I kept
Oh,
thinking he was talking about a
oh,
Bigfoot or something, but he was saying, he kept telling me you heard wings
uh,
flapping, and he kept saying it was a pterodactyl, and this probably happened, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. But I gotta talk
okay.
to him again. I've been trying to get a hold of him again because like I said, I was in the middle of something when he was telling me that story, and it was out in Texas,
Yeah,
way up in north. So I want
okay.
to find out about that. But yeah, I believe the
Nice.
pterodactyl
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yep.
Joe, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Joe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. If you want to tell people how to get a hold of you, Javier, or where to find you, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, yeah. We have a YouTube channel. It's Cryptid 559. It's on YouTube, and we also have Facebook. It is Cryptid, but it's Roman numerals because Facebook won't let me do the 559 for some reason. I don't
Hmm.
know. That's why it's Roman numerals on Facebook. But just look for our logo. That's us. It's a private one, so if you request a friend, send me a friend request, and then I'll accept you.
Oh, and that is that your
That's the only social media over there.
on that T-shirt? Is that
Yeah,
your
right here is our logo. Right here.
okay? Your logo.
Yeah, that's it here. Yeah,
Cool.
Cool
yeah,
beans.
that's it.
That is cool. That is cool.
Thank you.
Big Dog. Tell people how to find you, Big Dog.
You can find my podcast on pretty much everywhere where they play where they pod your casts.
Cast your pod.
Podbean, cast your pod or whatever. Uh, like what is the iPhone one?
I podcast.
iPodcast, Spotify podcast, Podbean podcast, and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's Big Dog Random Show. It's pretty much like what we do here. I do have I think you posted my email address earlier. Yeah, there you go. So if you want to, email me, just no nudes, please. I'm married now.
Lucas says you can find Big Dog at Whataburger. Yep.
Oh, yeah, it ain't hard. That's how they trap me.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, bud.
that's about it. It's easy to get a hold of me. Just go to Whataburger or email me.
Or yeah, if you guys can't get a hold of him, want to message me, I'll get a hold of him for you. There's a bunch of Whataburgers near me. I'll find Big Dog. He lives right down the street from my girl, so I was in your neighborhood Wednesday night.
Oh, look at you creeping. You don't even stop by and say nothing.
Yeah, I'm the one that threw eggs at your truck.
Huh?
I'm the one that threw eggs at your truck.
Ah, yeah, man. Hey, I found out who did it, kids.
Yeah, you got them grounded, right? I know it was you kids.
Uncle Joe did it.
Cool beans, guys, man.
He's probably he's getting me back from when he fell asleep in the trunk and me and my cousin stomped on the brake screaming.
Yeah, brakes, yeah. Yeah, I never forget that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Luca made me do it. Yeah, okay.
He made me. He was twisting my arm. He didn't see. He was filming and twisting my arm.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, Javier, man, thanks a lot for joining the show, bro. I appreciate it.
Well,
yeah, it's good to
thanks
meet
for
you,
having
sir.
us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you too, big dog.
Same here.
And maybe one day in the next few months, I'll give you back your ratchet straps I've had for over a year already.
I was wondering what happened. I beat up the neighbor thinking it was them. Oops.
Cool, man. Well, all right, guys. Man, y'all have a good night, and everyone in the chat room, man. Good night to you guys too. I appreciate you guys as always. Have a great night.